Alright, got some fresh side off the hogs we just butchered today. We're gonna pull the spares out and get ready to start making, or start curing bacon. Alright, so these are the fresh sides. This will be your spare ribs here. This is all the fat, the inside. I take the inside fat off for the bacon. The spares will come out. That will be the outside of the bacon here. So flip that over, kind of go through whatever's decent meat, goes to trimmings. This will all be ground. Then we got lard bag. Most guys use leaf lard, but that's more for pastries. We take any excess lard, or fat, I should say, peel it off, and then we'll render it down. And it's totally fine for frying fish, things like that. Actually, I've never really noticed a difference between leaf and this. But again, we're not making pastries. By the time you render it down in the roaster pans, cool it off, put it in the stuff, it's bright white. It's always done us good. And then once you're into that down, they'll have meat in there, a small piece of meat. The easiest way we found so far to do it is run all the fat through the grinder. You can just do the coarse grind. That gets it down, it'll render a lot quicker. And then you end up crackling. So any of the little pieces of meat, you just kind of stiff, kind of scoop them out. Chickens like them. Dogs will eat them. So once I get that layer of fat off, you kind of look here. That's your spares. You would think they end here, but actually they go back in here a little farther. I can just start feeling bone here. Basically, lightly score. Kind of come around them. Wide berth on it, I guess. Then at that point in time, come up to the other side. Take your knife, just like filleting a fish. Just rub right down the back of the rib bone. Fillet knife or a pretty bendy boner knife. Do not want a stiff back knife for that part. I'll be able to get in there and do her. So that'd be your spare ribs. A lot of times you just take a fork or a knife, you can kind of poke on that. When it comes time to cook them, that skin here needs to be peeled out. You can take a meat hook and do it now. I don't do it until I thaw them out and ready to eat them. So that one will be trimmed up a little bit and go right in bags and ready to go. You can see all the rib marks on the actual fresh side. I always kind of feel around. Sometimes at the end of the ribs, it kind of turns to a cartilage. Have sliced bacon before and found that in there, so I just kind of feel around, make sure we got all the ends out. And then you don't have to trim them up, but if you do trim them up, they do go through the slicers after they're cured and smoked a little better. Get rid of all the small inconsistent ends. That way when they go through the slicer, it's a little more, I don't know what the word to be for that. Not formal bacon. I don't know what you call that. More uniform, I guess, as far as your slices of bacon when you're done. That's the fat side. We do not boil or shave ours. They're just skinned. So, I don't know. Not like a deer. They always say not to nick your fat and everything else, but they're not like a deer. They're hard. Unless you boil them and skin them. That'll be your outside. That's your inside. I haven't weighed them yet. Normally, on a big piece like this, that should be roughly 14 pounds. Here in a little bit, we'll actually cut these in half. I'll weigh them out so I can get my measurements for the paint cure, salt, and sugar, so I can cure them for 7 days. I put them in 2-gallon bags, and then they 7 days to cure in the fridge. Just keep flipping them, let that cure set in. So I usually slice them in half, fit in the bags pretty well. Mix up your prog or your nitrates, sugar and salt, and then this time I'm gonna put black pepper on there. It just depends what you want to do. And then once a day for 7 days, you just flip them back and forth, kind of rub them together. That salt will soak out in the liquid, kind of make a juice, just rub them down. So yeah, next Saturday we'll pull them out, wash them down real good, pat them off, start the smoker, and start throwing them in there. So that's it for that. So out of the fresh side, you got spares, and your belly will turn into bacon. Also taking these and just froze them this way, and you can actually just put these on the smoker, and I've smoked them just like ribs. They're pretty dang good. And then if you want, you can make your burn-ins out of that. But right now we're a little low on good bacon, so these are good bellies. We're gonna turn these into bacon. All right, so the first hog we done, that was a good sized hog. The next couple we got, they weren't quite as big. So I did pull the spare out already. It's out here. As far as the fresh side, to me, it's not thick enough to make bacon. The way you would slice it would actually be this way. So that's some pretty thin bacon. To me, it's not worth the time or the effort to do it. You can do a couple different things, or I've done a couple different things. Sometimes I'll just slice them and I'll freeze them this way. You can still smoke them as a whole and just do, like I said before, I just smoke them like I do ribs. They're not bad, but most bellies should be 1.5 inches thick or so. I mean, down here we're 1/2 inch thick. So you can cut it in half, do it that way, or we're gonna do a bunch of grinds. We're gonna do brat patties, breakfast sausage, Italian sausage, hot sausage, things like that. So just where we are now and what we want to fill the freezers with, I'll just slice this up. This will end up getting cubed up and then go right in the grinds. So we'll kind of do it that way. I'm guessing, you know, those are probably 14 pounders. This is maybe 8. So to me, not good bacon, but you can use it different ways. So right now we're out of sausages, we're out of patties. I'm just gonna slice her up and grind her up. We got the fresh sides cut up, ready to go for bacon. We took the ribs out. We packed those already, got those in the freezer, 2 spare ribs per side. We ended up keeping 1 hog worth of bacon. The other one's too small. Like I said earlier, we're gonna probably just grind those. We got 40 pounds of deer meat from this deer season. So I actually took the pork bellies and we weighed out what I needed from it's a 40-60 split. Weighed it out as 50-50. And probably here next week or so, we'll start making our snack sticks, trail bologna, deer sausage, that kind of stuff. So anyway, we're down to the bellies. Now here's kind of the cool part. Making bacon is super easy. Me and a buddy figured this out a couple years ago. I'm not sure if he found it, I found it, but it's called Digging Dogs Farm. And if you go on the internet and you look it up, Digging Dogs Farm, it's kind of vague. It just brings you a calculator. So once you get the calculator up, when you do bacon, you need nitrate, which is nitrate number 1, or I believe they call it prog. You need kosher salt, not table salt. It's heavier, it has iodine in it, and sugar. That's it. That's all bacon consists of. You can do black pepper on them, whatever you want. We've done jalapeno bacon, or yeah, we've done jalapeno dried jalapeno. Works pretty good. A little hot in the morning, but for like a BLT, it's great. So this time, we're just gonna do the prog, the sugar, kosher salt, and I'm gonna black pepper them. So the cool part is when you go to Digging Dogs and look it up, it's kind of changed, but this comes up with this dry cure calculator, okay? So we've weighed out the bellies. Between the two bellies, it was 24 pounds. I cut the bellies in halves, and this is just, you don't have to be exact, just kind of roundabout. So the two were 24 pounds, so 12 pounds a piece. Cut them in half, 6 pounds per half of belly. So on here, you can change this from imperial to the metric system if you want. So I've already weighed in 6 pounds because you have to make a batch per each one. So you type in 6 pounds of meat. The nitrates are either 6.25 or 5.0. We have never messed with this. This comes standard. Desired salt, 2%. Sugar, 1%. I really couldn't tell you what the heck that is. When you're done, you hit calculate, which I've already done it. We'll push her again. Screen changes. So somehow it flips at 2 grams. That really scared me at first, but we went and bought just a little cheap, I don't know, $20, $30 scale. On the deal, you can switch it from, you know, whatever it is, from pounds to grams. So everything is sitting right there. So we've already teared it out. So when I put just a little cup on there, it should tear down to, oh, that one changed. There we go, 0. So if you look on here, the cure number 1 weight is 6.7 grams of cure. Cure's not good for you. It can make you sick. A little extra, no big deal. But yeah, if you were to take a scoop of this, not good. So you just got to scoop her out. We're looking for 6.79. 7 will be close enough. So we're already at 6. I got a little heavy on that one. There's 7. So 6.79, we're at 7 grams. That little extra is not going to do anything to you. So the next one down, as you're looking, upside down. All right, so salt weight 48. Again, we'll just set this to the side. Grab another bowl. That should be teared out. It's not. Oh. So re-tear it. Back to 0. 48. Again, kosher salt, not iodized or iodine. $48. Oop, jacking it there. There we go. So that's kosher. Now sugar. Sugar, we want 27. Some change. And again, the only one that really matters is just number 1. The rest is if you want salt your bacon, add more salt. If you want sugar your bacon, add more sugar. I don't like sugar, I want salt. So you gotta get close, and then it's all personal preference. And that's just regular white sugar. $31, I want a 27. She'll be happy, it'll be real sweet for me. So you take those out, and then just mix these 3 together. Put those in bowls. So we've already made 1. There's the next one. We got 2 more to go, and we'll be back here in a little bit. So we got everything measured out. These are all set up for roughly 6 pounds. We got 2 gallon bags. Have not cut these in half yet. So pull the bellies out. Just got to fit in there. Roughly cut them and centered. That one's gonna be a pretty tight fit for a 2-gallon. We'll make her work. All right. So there's the 2 sides. Yeah, 2 full sides. And then after that, it's pretty simple. When we first started doing it, I thought this was crazy to me. I thought it was a pile of salt and lots of seasonings. That's all it is. I mean, that's just a small little pan. You just gotta lightly try to sprinkle. You gotta cover everything the best you can. That's why I kind of like dividing them out. Rub it into the meat. Your edges. Try to get all that salt and cure on there. Completely covered. If you wanted, you can quit right there. This time I'm gonna put a little black pepper on there. Coarse ground black pepper. That's gonna take forever. This is give her a little kick. The black pepper brings out the smoke. So if you're cooking anything or smoking anything, the black pepper will actually gather smoke. A lot of times when you're smoking, if you put the black pepper on first and then your other seasonings, that'll draw more smoke. But on the bacon, it's pretty good. You get a little extra kick. So that one, pretty well done. Set her off to the side. So we got everything seasoned up. Just did the mix we showed you earlier. A bunch of black pepper on there. When these are done curing, you have to take them inside and wash them in cold water. So it looks like a lot of black pepper and stuff on here now. A lot of that will come off. The black pepper will stick. But that'll get rid of a lot of the other seasonings, and the prog will come off. So right now, all you do, you get them there. Again, we cut them in half. The best way I found, 2-gallon bags. So you just gotta weasel these little dudes into a 2-gallon bag. Get them let it lay flat. That's the best way to go. So get them in there. Sometimes the little zippers get a little pissy with all the salt and everything else in there. Try as much out as you can. Lock them up, we just put them back in the LE on lugs. flat as you can. All right, so we got everything ready to go. Everything seasoned up, peppered up. Just put them in 2-gallon bags. Make sure they're zipped up pretty tight. Try to get all the air out if we can. Basically, all you got to do is just put them in the LEM lugs. You don't have to do this, but sometimes the seals will open up because of the salt and the pepper. So you just lay them all in there. And then, of course, that one goes on top as well. But for the next 7 days, you pull them out, take it out of the refrigerator, and just kind of squish everything around. The salt will start drawing out the liquid. So just pull them out, rub everything around, flip them over, do the same thing, rub everything, and then make sure you put them in upside down from what you had them the night before. And 7 days later, you can pull them out, wash them up. You gotta take them inside, cold water, rinse all the nitrates off. A lot of the pepper will still stick. The more you wash them, the more salt flavor will come off. So again, personal preference, how salty you want your bacon. And after that, hit the smoker. Normally we do a big stick burner outside. We're only doing 1 hog's worth of bacon, so I'll probably do them on my pellet smoker. So next weekend, while we're doing the rest of the cuts, they're cooling in the fridge now. Probably get the smoker fired up, run that. They run for, I can't remember right now, usually like 150 degrees for quite a while, and then pull them out. You got to put them back in the refrigerator, let them cool down. The next day we'll pull out the Hobart slicer, slice everything up. It's pretty simple, easy to do. I always thought bacon to be, it always scared me, but after doing it, it works out great. You can play the flavors. It's just, I don't know, we bought a lot of bacon over the years, and the homemade stuff is way better. Again, this is all stuff we do at home, but it's not for sale. It's just the way we do it, and we like it. So we'll see you next week.